What is going on, everyone? Today we got something a little bit different in the chair. Instead of the typical ugly male client that I usually will cut, got my beautiful little sister today, and I'm by no means a cosmetologist or a stylist. I'm just a barber who usually does men's haircuts. And excuse the outfit, I was 9 cuts in at this point on a Saturday, and they decided to come see me, so I look a little bit ratchet, but you can see me asking her how much she wants off, and we're gonna do about 1.5 inches. The first thing that I like to do is just wet the hair a little bit and run my fingers through it. Try to get out any really strong tangles with the straighter hair, especially little girl hair. Their hair seems to be a little bit more tangly, so I want to make it as comfortable as I can. I don't want to run a fine-tooth comb through this. She might be crying after that, so I just like to run my fingers through a little bit and just soften it up as much as I can. And right now I'm just going through her hair with the wide tooth comb pretty slowly. Same thing, just trying to keep it as comfortable as I can. The hair is pretty damp right now, and I'm using a little bit more pressure to try to get these tangles out. Mainly just trying to get it as loose as I can so I can section it and get it combed out. See, we're slowly but surely getting through there. I'm gonna re-wet the hair, and now I'm gonna create a couple of sections. The first section that I like to create is right at where the ear is. I'm not doing a great job of showing it, but I'm starting at the top of the head and I'm going down right behind the ear. And so we're gonna have 2 sections on the side and then a section in the back that we're gonna work from. Hopefully you can get an idea of where I parted it. And then right here, this isn't gonna be a huge transformation or anything. We're cutting about 1.5 inches off. She has super long hair, and the hair is gonna stay long, but we're just kind of evening it up and making it a little bit shorter. Just a simple trim. This is more so for somebody who just wants to save a little bit of money and cuts their daughter's hair, their sister's hair, niece's hair, whichever it may be. Quick trim, nothing crazy, no layering, no styling, no wisping, no curling, no straightening, none of that. So we're starting in the back here, and we created our first cut, and then we're just working our way from one side to the other side and just trying to keep it as even as we can. And it seems pretty simple because it is, guys. This isn't, you really shouldn't overcomplicate this. We're just making a section in the back, and we're just gonna keep it even and create a straight line across. And you just want to keep combing it and just make sure you're cutting everything that needs to be cut. And right here, I'm grabbing a little bit of that section we made in the side, and I'm gonna line it up with what we did in the back. With the back being our guide, we're gonna even these 2 parts up together. And I'm just constantly grabbing that side section and just making sure that it's flush with what we already created. And same thing on this side. I'm grabbing a little bit that was on the right side and I'm matching it up with what was in the back, and we're just making a straight line across. And you can see me lifting the hair up here. I have a barber chair, so it's not perfect. It's not ideal for long trims like this, so I'm trying to make sure that the hair is not getting caught up on her shoulder or anything. I want it to be as straight as it can to make sure that I'm actually pulling the hair where it's gonna be. And really at this point we have a baseline of what we've done. We're just getting the loose hairs and just trying to keep it as neat as we can. Now I'm re-wetting the hair again. I like to start off with it, working with the wet canvas, and then at the end I'll go back and do it dry. And you can see me now, we're giving her a slick back look. So we're pushing all the hair to the back, and we're basically gonna redo what we did. We're just gonna make sure we didn't miss any hairs. Make sure that it's all the same length. Right here, same thing. I'm just grabbing grabbing the ends and just making sure that they're even. It's also important to make sure that they're looking down a lot. Just make sure that you're getting the actual length that the hair is laying. And now I'm doing the same thing I did, but instead of a pushback, we're pushing it to the left. We're grabbing all the hair and we're moving it over. Same thing, we're just grabbing the ends and making sure that it's all even. Just redirecting the hair to that left side. Alright, you're gonna see me do the same thing on this side. We're redirecting it to the right, giving her a little bit of the emo bangs. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. Yep, so pushing everything onto the right, and we're gonna do the same thing. I'm wetting it a little bit more just to have more control, making sure that it's all even. No straggling hairs, no loose hairs that we might have missed. So at this point, it's really just cleanup work. Now going back to the natural part on top. Just same thing, guys. I'm just keeping an eye on the bottom, make sure that there's nothing that looks out of place. Now we're gonna put the blow dryer on it and we're gonna dry it out. So I basically like to do the same thing that I did before, but this time we're working with dry hair instead. And you might notice a little bit of difference, and that's why I like to do it both ways, to make sure that I've gotten everything that I can to the same length. So now I'm taking the same sections that I had before, and I'm just basically redoing what I did, but I don't want to cut something that doesn't need to be cut. So if it doesn't need to, I'll leave it. Like if you're making any cuts at this point, they're probably going to be very, very minimal. Same thing, you want to make sure she looks down, and you want to get that same view to make sure that everything is flush. Same thing here, I'm grabbing a little bit of each section, making sure that it all lines up together. Now just blow drying it back out. One last look down to make sure that, make 100% sure that it's flush. And now I'm just stepping back, making sure that the two sides are even with each other from a front view. It looks like they were pretty good. Sometimes you might have to make a little bit of a tweak, but more times than not, it'll be really close. But you want to make sure that you get, the final say. Making sure that it sits right. And if you have a mirror, it's important to constantly look back and get a different point of view of what you've done, get a different angle. It can be easy to exhaust your eyes looking in that same spot up close, just so locked in and focused. So I like to constantly look back and make sure that it also looks good and that there's no red flags from a distance. So you'll see me looking back a lot. Now just straightening everything out, making sure that we're looking nice and even. And now, just like any other client, I'm gonna show her the mirror, make sure that it looks good to her, make sure that she's cool with it. And if you're new here, I go by the name of Vino. We do barbering, fashion, lifestyle, a lot of different things. Thanks for checking me out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that I'll see you next time. Ciao ragazzi, e ci vediamo alla prossima volta. Ciao!